What's up YouTube? Welcome to this video. So the topic today is HTML, and this video has everything you need to know in order to understand and write HTML code. HTML is usually the first language many beginners try to learn, and it's actually a good idea to do so because it's easy to understand. However, you must practice it well. So without wasting any time, let's start learning. Download Visual Studio Code. It's a free code editor. After the download is finished, you will see something like this. So to install it, just accept, tick everything here. Now click finished. Let's close this and we can delete the setup. Now new folder. Let's call it website. Right click it, open with code. Now let's create a file. We can call it index.html. So what it will do is it will create a new file inside this folder. You can manually create this file, so this is not a problem. So write HTML and you can see a pop-up which says HTML5. Click this and you will get the basic HTML code that is required for every HTML page to have. This char set means that this page supports UTF-8. So there are many char sets. Some support only numbers, some support only symbols. But this character set says that this page allows all characters like A to Z, 1 to 0. So all the numbers, all the symbols are allowed. This says that. Then we have viewport is used for responsiveness because we have different screens for our computers and mobile phones. So it adjusts the width and height of our entire website. So it will be written exactly like this. Then we have the title. We will say learn HTML. So it will be shown on our browser window. Then we have the body tag. Let's give some spaces and keep our header and body separate. The first thing that we will look into is h1 tag. And normally you have to write this angle bracket h1, then close this. But Visual Studio has a shortcut. So you can write h1 and press enter. This way Visual Studio Code will take care of the brackets. Now you can write, this is my first website, and we can do h2, h3. So all of these are preset headings font sizes. So if I run this, right click, reveal in file explorer, and you can see that the headings are of different sizes. Now after the heading tags, we have the paragraph tag. So the p tag, and there is a shortcut lorem 16. So a paragraph text is like this. If we have multiple paragraphs, it will be shown like this on a separate line. We have other stuff as well, like inside this paragraph, I want this to be bold. What I can do is I can introduce a B tag and put these two words inside the B tag. We also have strong tag, which is mostly used nowadays. So we don't use B anymore, only because it has less meaning, so it only means bold. So now we use strong, which has more meaning. We also had the I tag for italic, and we have the U tag for underline. In place of I, we now use emphasis, so it does exactly the same. And in place of underline, we use inserted. So it means that the text is inserted. So it does not originally belongs to this paragraph. So basically these tags were introduced later in HTML5. These tags have had lesser meaning. So underline, bold and italic. So they introduced tags to put more meaning in the website. Otherwise they work the same. If I refresh, you can see that the bold, underlined text and also the emphasis tag. So they work the same. Now we can do other things inside an HTML like link, type, favorite icon. Now we will download Google logo. Let's save this image in our website folder. Let's call it logo. So logo.png. Logo.png. If I refresh this, you can see the Google icon has appeared. Unordered list. We can have elements which will be li. So let's say it's a grocery list. So this is our unordered list. After this we have, you can see that there are numbering. So this is called an ordered list. An ordered list can be customized like this. So start 100. Now it will start from 100. And we can also do type. We have some types. All of them are listed here. If I do I, then you can see that it is now listed in Roman numbers. So we have another list which is less known. So this is called a description list, and it has two types of elements. The first one is DT, which is the title. We need to buy apple and flower. We need to buy two books. So it will look like this. Weird, but it is what it is. It's not used anywhere, but it's there. An important tag that we have is anchor tag. href http google.com, and we can write go to Google. Refresh. If I click to go to Google, I will be redirected to google.com. So that's how an anchor link work. Then we have a thing that is called table. Inside table, we have t head which are for the columns, and a column is defined with ts tag. So a column could be, and then we have t body which has td, which are called table cells, which has data of rows, and actually we also have the raw element. So these t header should go inside a table raw. So this is the hierarchy of element. Should also go inside a table raw. You can press Alt Shift F to format the file. So now you can see that we can clearly see the records. So if I refresh, you can see we have a table like structure. We can have border like this. So we have many languages and HTML works as the structure of the page. It doesn't do much in styling. You can see that this table or these links or this heading looks hideous, but this is what it is. Then we have other languages to style and to put logic in our web page. If we want to style it using HTML only, we have fewer options like we can say background. We need an image for that. So let's go with wallpaper, this one. Let's make a new folder, image, and put the download.jpg inside the image folder. Now, if I want to give the address of the image, I have to write dot slash image and then download.jpg. This indicates that we are at the current path, so wherever the HTML file is held, then we are going inside the image folder and then inside this picture, which is download.jpg. This image is stretched like this, and we cannot customize these things so much. We can also do bg color and give it gray. However, you can see that the attribute is colored as red. If you hover it, it says that limited availability. So this is a depreciated tag, which means that it can go away from the HTML language anytime. So it is not recommended to use these type of properties. But now we don't have anything to style our website, so we will go with this. Let's go with light gray. We also have the form element, and inside this form we have, so it's not necessary that the input tag goes inside the form, but usually we put it inside the form. So we have different inputs: text, date, number, and we also have something which is called select. Inside a select, you give options. Now let's see what it does. The page is getting congested. We can use br tags, which gives line space in our page. Just paste it, Control V directly here. You can see that our text boxes are now in different lines. So we can write text here, we can select date here, we can only write numbers, and we also need an input which is button, which is submit. Let's put the button inside the form. You can see that it's giving me error. Please include A in the email address. So it validates the email by itself. Now it will submit the form. And you can see that this is the select that we talked about. We also have the image tag, which we can use to put images anywhere inside our page. So images download.jpg. You can see that the image is here. I can control its height. So we don't use these properties because we use the styling, because we use CSS for styling. So we don't use the HTML attribute too much. And anything which is for styling, we use it in the form of CSS. So for now, we don't know CSS, that's why we are using these attributes. Now there is a thing that we don't know what this drop down is all about. So we can do a label which says that select fruit. Now you can see that this drop down makes sense. So we have labels. But what if I want to put more spaces here? You can see that there is no space other than one space that I have given. This is because HTML doesn't recognize these empty spaces. That's when we use entities. Space entity HTML, and you can see that we have this NB, we have this NBSP. So this is one space, two, three, four, five. Now you can see that all of my four spaces, five spaces are here. So this is used when when we want to write some special character. There are different entities for different characters. You can visit all the entities in the on the W3 school website or any other website. Now let's talk about containers. We saw that we had this paragraph. Let's make the paragraph again. Now let's create a div with the same text, and let's see two divs. Let's also create span, and let's write paragraph div span over here. Now let's see the difference. You can see that the difference in paragraph is this. You can see that there is a gap in the bottom and the top. So paragraph automatically handles gap around it, but the div does not do that. But the property of div container is a div always starts from a separate line. So you can see that this was the div, and then this div started on a different line. But you can see that this is the first span and this is the second span. The first span ended here, so the second span began on the same line. So these are the differences between these containers. So the paragraph, div, and span containers. And mostly these days, the websites are made of divs. So if you see a website, let's say this Google website, and these buttons could be inside another div, and this entire bar could be a div as well. So a website is made of boxes which are divs. So we need different sections to align them in different corners of the website and to make the structure of our website. So we use div a lot. We also have HR tag, which is used to give a line which shows like this. We have many containers like, I'm gonna explain two things. This is HTML comment. So every programming language, by the way, HTML is a markup language, but let's just call it a language. So every language has this comment sort of thing. Here we can define text which doesn't relate to this page. So it's only for our reference, only for the reading. It won't show in the browser. So this is an HTML comment, and with this comment, I am telling you that these are semantic tags. So all of these semantic tags are just div tag. So they are simple div, nothing special. It's just that these header nav, these words give meaning to these tags. Otherwise, they do nothing. If you create a new page, a new HTML page, let's select the language. If you create a new page, you can use the semantic tags like this. So a nav could be inside the header. This could be the nav bar, and this is what we call a side menu. So this is a side menu. This is defined by a side tag like this. Nav is also defined like this. So the other tags section and article are used for posting. So if we have a post, we can put it inside a section, and then we can define articles within it. So it's just for giving meaning to your website. So it becomes more searchable in the Google engine or whatever search engines. And if another developer opens your website, he can understand that what you are writing with these tags better. That's why they are there. Otherwise, if you don't use these and just use div, you will be just fine. So these are not absolutely necessary, but they are a good practice. There is a fun thing that we don't use that often, but we have an audio tag for kind of like an audio player. So you can give audio.mp3 if you have an audio. If you don't write these controls, you won't see the controls. You can give video slash mp4. The type could be mpage. The height and width of the player and the message. So like this. We also have, and you go to share and copy the embed link, paste it inside here. This is an iframe tag. in which you can open a mini website. So right now this is embedded a YouTube video. So you can see that this is our audio and video player, and this is the YouTube video which is here with an iframe. We also have text area, which usually goes inside a form. So we can write text, but this is a multi-line editor, and we can upgrade its size. So these are all the HTML elements, and you need to practice that you remember all of these elements, and you need to practice that so that you can remember these elements and these stuff. So let's repeat all of the stuff that we have learned. First, we have these few lines at the start of our website. This indicate that this is an HTML file. Its language is English, and this indicates that what character sets are we using. The viewport should be set according to the device, and we have an icon. So these are important information which is a good practice that you should have in every page. Then after the header we have body, which takes up all of our header, paragraph, list, and other stuff. We would have a lot of divs if this page was officially if this was if this was a proper page. We have all sorts of lists and stuff. We have links, tables, and we defined form, and we had a submit button which we didn't look. This is the submit button which submits a page and takes you to another page or whatever action that you want to perform. We also learned that how path works and image work. Then we learned that what are the differences between paragraph, divs, and span. Then we learned that there are semantic tags uh, which should be properly placed inside your website. And then we learned that audio and video is also there, and you could use iframe and text area. So all of this would go inside your body, and then your HTML page is complete. So we form structure with HTML, but it looks super weird because nothing is in place and nothing is styled. So we have CSS for that. So in the next video, we will take a look at CSS and make our website beautiful. So stay tuned and subscribe for more. So this is all for the video. Thanks for watching and do subscribe to the channel. See you next time.